Hey guys, Moondoggy here. Here's my third video. In this one I am flying the XP-50, the American Tier 3 premium plane. Maybe some of you guys don't have this and wanted to get a look at it. I do pretty well in this plane, as I've shown with the other ones. It's flown in a similar style. Basically boom and zoom, that's all you really need. This is another arcade match. I've already started my climb and gotten to about 15,000 feet here. However, I didn't get up to the speed that I would have liked and kind of get stuck behind this B-25. Not the optimal angle at all here, but I am able to get some accurate rounds on target before taking any damage myself, then downing him. It's kind of a sluggish plane. You'll see some of the downsides of that later on in the match. It is fast, it has powerful guns, only has 120 rounds of cannon ammo. However, the machine guns can still take planes out in their own right. Point, I'm just clearing out the planes at altitude. I've knocked out a FW-190 and found myself right on the tail of another B-25. I had used up my cannon rounds in that engagement and wasn't in a good spot, so I pulled out to take a better angle once I reloaded. And I'm able to blow his tail off. So now altitude is pretty clear, at least in my general area. So I'm taking my time to look around and figure out what's going on with the battle. Most of their planes are actually quite low. We do have some bombers on our team. Got an AR-2 in front of me. And there was a Wellington, I believe, behind me, which I'm not currently looking at. So while looking around, I noticed a Avenger not too far off. And this is not a very dangerous target, and I've got him in a good position. He does try to dive away from me to try to get me to bail, but I'm going too fast for him. He probably should have been lower. He didn't have any help there. I'm up to 17,000 feet and climbing here. The plane doesn't really perform that great once you're at this point and above. It's a little hard to get speed. But it still climbs. At this point I'm headed over towards a BF-109 who is on the tail of the Wellington I talked about before. So I follow their path, and he sees me coming here. Tried to, I'm not exactly sure what he was trying here, to be quite honest. Got in front of the bomber, which isn't really ideal for him. took a few rounds from me as well, even though he did manage to burst, or dodge most of my burst. This F4U had been below us. We kind of fell on top of him, and he's actually critically damaged. I managed to blow part of his wing off, I believe. That FW-190 was actually critically damaged as well, now that I think about it. I think he actually died. At this point I've got an optimal angle on this SP2C. Manages to make it through a few cannon round barrages, but I finish him off with the machine gun. At this point I can see below me both the BF-109 that I had damaged as well as the F4U looking to go in for landings. So they're not a threat to me right now. They actually both crashed attempting to land, or they couldn't get repaired, one of the two. And then the BF-109 just died, and that F4U is coming in now trying to do the same thing. I'm kind of playing escort right here. See this Wellington below me. It doesn't have anybody threatening, which is good. And there's another Wellington straight ahead of me. I'm actually off to the right a little bit there, but he's at altitude. And then another one right below me now entering. So we've got 3 over the airfield, so we're looking pretty good. As well as that IL-4 coming in. So from my perspective, at 16,000 feet, there's not really any threats. We're definitely going to get some bombs off. As I drop down, I can see we're already about 30% progress on the base. So I dive in on this BF-109. This is the same guy I had killed just a little bit ago, and he does some nice evasive maneuvers. He recognizes my plane isn't that nimble. Doesn't bleed off too much speed, does a little bit of a dance, lets me get close. And if I had turned with him there, he probably would have gained an advantage. Not only that, but I'm directly over their airfield and find myself having to dodge AA fire. So I can do better than that, and I pull up. Just taking a quick look at my bombers, seeing what's going on with furball below me. And I notice this F6F here, kinda just out in the middle of nowhere, right below me. As you can see, I don't have the best of aim with this plane. I'm used to a little bit more of a loose feel. You really have to be patient with this thing. However, it is all nose fire, so even if you send out kind of a spray, you have a pretty good chance of landing some hits. Just be mindful of your cannon round. You can run out quickly. At this point, the match is pretty much coming to an end. I've got 8 kills. Our bombers are in the process of killing their airfield, so I'm not really too worried about strategy at this point. basically kind of torn on what to do. I was considering trying to fly over and maybe see if I couldn't pick off somebody over by their base, but there's probably not much time left, so I just decided to furball it. As you can see, the objective just got completed, so the match is only going to last another 30 seconds anyway. I managed to strafe an I-16 cutting across my field of view. They blow up quickly when you're shooting at them with this plane. And the last order of business is coming around on this BF-109. And here's my example of arcadey furballs. Kind of looking around and then get flown into directly by a teammate there, so that ends the round, but it was over anyway. I decided to just fly around on one wing.